These are these Senate houses, Congress, the White House, Wall Street. You know, because whenever something happens, what do? They call to the nobles, right? The nobles represent what? The senators, congressmen, the president, vice president, the secretary of state, and all of them. You know, the heads of the military. So they call to them for what? For a solution, to come to a solution and to make something happen, so that basically the government and the people living can continue. But when that time comes, all this is going to be destroyed. There's going to be nothing here. You ain't going to be able to go to the president or vice president or your congressman or your mayor. You ain't going to go to none of them. Why? Because they're going to be dead. They're going to be dust and ashes.
Yep. Because as you read on, it says, and thorns shall come up in her palaces. Nettles, another word for nettle is a wild bush. And brambles, another word for brambles is a wild bush, in the fortresses thereof. And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. So that's the future of America,
vultures
right?
They're going to pull up in a truck.
Yeah, they're going to. Hey, this is the future of America, right? I'll read the 15th verse. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures. Now, what is a vulture? It's a bird, a scavenger. All right, you usually see the vultures, like Elder say, drive up in the truck after a dude is dead, man. He's laying out. The vultures circle ahead, overhead, and they swoop down and eat what's there. So that shows you America, because plus America, man, is going to have a lot of dead bones and things that are dead, man, basically. Reading on, it says, there shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. So that's the future of America, man.
Yeah, those are all unclean animals, desert animals, which in the book of Revelation, it calls them devils. Why? Because they're unclean. You're not supposed to be eating them.
Give me Revelation 18, verse 16.
The book of Revelation 18 and 16, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls.
Yeah, at one point, everybody from around the world, the dream was to come to America. They told stories that if you come to America, I actually had people from different countries tell me that. Down there in their country, they said the streets are paved with gold and there's pieces of diamond in the streets and all that. And then when you get here, it's all bullshit. And most of them people that I ran into have went back to their country.
Yep, I've got a real quick precept. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 5. The Lord verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Back in Revelation 18.
Yeah, and part of what we're doing, people get mad at us and they, say shit on our site, but we're doing what the Lord told us to do. Right. Before this society goes down, the Most High is going to set up the men of the Lord to before this place went down. In other words, to condemn this place. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
So we're doing the same thing that our foreparents did back then. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is our 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Back in Revelation 18 and 16. And saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught.
What vehicle or what weapon is going to be used to destroy America, the whole of America. 3,000 miles by 2,000 miles approximately in 1 hour. ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. Go ahead.
And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. It says,
and shall be found no more at all. So that proves what we were saying earlier about America will not exist after the destruction. It'll just be one big vast desert.
Right, geographically it'll be there, but there's not going to be any activity.
That's right.
There's going to be a desert. No, nothing. Everything's going to be laid flat.
Laid flat.
And the Lord even spoke about that in Matthew's 24, verse 3. We don't have to get that.
Yeah.
So you got these people that call themselves, the born againers, the Mormons, the Jehovah Wickedness, the Roman Catholics, and they all have their take on what the Bible means. None of them understand what the Bible means. The only ones that understand what the Bible means is us. The Israelite elect that the Most High chosen. That's why we're called the elect. And the elite know about us. They know about us, man. And they know that they're going down. Because before the Lord sent our deliverer in Egypt to deliver the children of Israel from Egypt, the Pharaoh already knew that there was going to be a deliverer. That's why he put out that decree to destroy the Hebrew babies. The same thing when Herod sat up on the throne, that Edomite. The same thing. He put out that decree to destroy the Hebrew babies. So you're telling me that the Rothschilds, they know about the Bible. They study. They have scholars that all they do is study the Bible. They go search things. They get their archaeologists and their historians. They look up words and stuff. So they know that they're Babylon. The elite know that they're Babylon. They know who the prophets are. They know who the Israelites are. They know that they're going into slavery. They know that America is going to be destroyed in a thermonuclear holocaust. And they know that it's right around the corner. That's why they're coming down with great wrath. You see?
That's why they have their soothsayers and their witches and their prognosticators to search the heavens and search the scriptures to find out if there's anything that they can do to escape this coming holocaust for them, so to speak.
Yeah, one thing they did was they had, give me that in Jeremiah 31, I believe it's the 35th verse, where it talks about the going out into space. Let's read that.
Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation from before me forever. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord.
That's the main reason why these devils got a space program. But guess what? They haven't gone to the outreaches of space. Yeah. And they're not going to, because what did they do? They no longer have a space program. They're not pursuing to go past Mars and all that. And the reason why they did that was if they can search the outer reaches of the heavens in outer space, if they can find the end of space, then the Most High would have to destroy his people. So that's what these devils were attempting to do.